What's up, y'all? Welcome to the On the Come Up podcast, where creative entrepreneurs share their come up journeys that turn their passions into success. I'm your host, Kimberly, so let's get started.
What is up, guys? We are back with another episode, and today I'm your host. It's TDM Pixels here. Today we're going to have a very special episode where Kimberly is our guest today. So, are you ready for this?
No, it feels weird
being the guest on your own show.
Yes.
So yeah, I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
We're going to see how well she does in that guest chair today, y'all. All right. So, first question. I had to write them out, y'all. This is not really my stick. So, all right. So take us back to the beginning. What made you start the On the Come Up podcast?
So it's been a wild ride. It's been about a little bit over 3 years. But I did always want a podcast. The thought came into my mind like back in 2021. Never did anything with that thought, of course. You know, people have aspirations and just brush them up. But it wasn't until we actually had a chat.
Yep.
And you had some equipment already. And you're like, I'll help you. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And so we did it for a while until we didn't.
Yep. Yeah, we didn't. We didn't, guys.
That's a story for another day. But yeah, you kind of just helped me give me that boost, you know, and it kind of helped me a lot. And I still continue to do it, you know, even through the hiccups and stuff. And I had a different name in the very beginning because I had no idea what I was even going to be podcasting about, you know. I didn't do my research, or I just went in, you know, just like a lot of people do. But yeah, changed the name after doing some kind of like podcast audit. It just made more sense for the name, for the brand, and now we're called On the Come Up. I changed the name like a year in.
Yeah.
So
it's been a while.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, the name was something else, but so yeah, that's
to not be mentioned again. Really, she just said something else. Okay.
That's basically how we started rolling.
Okay. Did you ever imagine the podcast would eventually lead you to owning your podcast studio that we're in right now?
No, never. I remember, so I first started recording my podcast out of like my apartment lounge where I was living.
That was a time.
I remember like wanting to renew my lease because I was like, where am I going to go? You know, like just being so frantic. And during that time, I don't even think I looked up studios.
No, it's something that probably won't be on your mind because you're so used to, I guess, a certain type of way you're doing the pod. So it's like you're just thinking about that type of path instead of it being like your own space.
Right. So I remembered I renewed my lease just because I wanted somewhere to record my podcast. Because I was like, well, if I move, where am I going to record my podcast? You know? So I would have never imagined. I visited like a couple of podcast studios last summer. I fell in love with the idea of one because I've never been to one. I first visited one in Austin. And so it was pretty cool. And I was like, oh, wow. And then I went to a different one in San Antonio. So it was just like all at once. And then I was just like, I want my own space, you know, because I ended up renting out an office space. It was actually here at this location on this same floor that I rented out an office space. And it was just like a desk, you know, I had stand-up mics at that time and it was just a desk. And it got old to me real quick because I didn't like the setup.
What was it about it that you didn't like?
Just like the desk format. I wanted something more cozy, more living room setup, you know.
Felt like a corporate type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've never would have imagined, honestly, like it's crazy how far I've came, I feel like.
So just a quick one in there. Like, what is your first day here like? What is that emotion that you feel?
I remember signing the lease. I signed the lease July of last year. and they're like, okay, we can hold it for up to 90 days,
Okay.
right? I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I wasn't ready right then and there when I signed the lease. I
Mhm.
just wanted to hold the spot, just so nobody else will take it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I remember signing the lease, and then I was like, I have to get this and this and this. Like, I had so much stuff to get, right? Because I had the bare minimum
Mhm.
equipment.
Mhm.
And so I had to get way more stuff.
Right.
So holding the lease for like the 90 days kind of helped me in a way, because I was like, okay, I have all this. Well, you think you have all this time
Mhm.
to gather all the equipment and everything else that I need,
Right.
So that kind of helped a little bit.
You're used to doing audition tapes, right? I would like to know though, what was it like putting yourself behind the microphone for the first time?
When I first started doing my podcast, oh my gosh, I
I
was
remember.
so
Yeah, I
nervous.
remember these days, guys. Yeah.
I was like, what do I say? Like, I was so nervous.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize how, like,
Hearing your voice back and kind of being like, this is what I sound like in this form.
I still think
Kinda.
it's cringy to hear my voice to this day, because I'm just like, ew, do I really sound like that? I do think I've gotten better as far as like projecting my voice.
Mhm.
I used to be
Mhm.
really soft spoken, like,
Okay.
well, I
Yeah.
still am soft spoken, but I was like timid.
Mhm.
And I've learned, listening back, I've learned like, okay, I need to speak louder or project my voice, or, you know,
Mm.
sometimes when we're like saying little like one-off words, it's like quieter than usual.
Mm.
So I've learned to just, I guess, criticize my own way of podcasting by listening to myself.
Right. It's kind of crazy because that was my next question. Was like, from the first episode compared to like where you are now, where you think the most has changed? But you kind of answered that, I guess. Is there something else though that you feel has changed from all the way back then to now within your process of podcasting?
I would say probably filler words. I know people, like, I catch my guests saying filler words when they're nervous and
Mhm.
stuff. I do catch myself saying sometimes. That's, I
Yeah.
think, the number one filler word that I'm still like, okay, don't say that.
Mhm.
So
But it's like, how
still,
do you train yourself to like get out of that? Because you just said in regular speaking, so then it's like, well, now I'm on camera, and it's a whole filming. And what can you do? You think to like erase it?
I think just pausing. But then it's like, you feel like, oh, maybe this is too long of a pause,
Mhm.
because then, especially when people are just listening,
Yep.
not actually watching, and
Yep.
you're scared that they're gonna, okay, they're not saying anything, I'm gonna
Yep.
stop listening.
Yep.
So that's where like the filler words come in a little bit, but you're like, don't want to say those all the time.
Mhm.
So it's just, I think I've been just practicing the filler words. I probably said them a lot. I
Mhm.
think I do say them now, just not as much.
Yeah. Gotcha. I remember when you told me this the first time, but I'm kind of curious for all the viewers and stuff. Um, at what point did you know that you want to give an opportunity for the space to be used for like other podcasts, not just your own? Like, you want to be a podcast studio, not just have the space for yourself.
So when I visited those studios, right, like I told you,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that same kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I wanted a space to where I could use it, but also other people can use it.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, my goal was, I want to be able to be that person for other people,
Yeah.
right? Because I didn't have that, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
recording out of my apartment lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was not all good,
No.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I wanted to be the person, I guess, that I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but in my own way, like being able to decorate how I wanted to decorate,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe people will also like what I have to share,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like with the space and stuff. So,
Being a valuable resource in a way
right.
to people who will be in the same position that you were in, like looking for a space or, just wherever they can find it and do it, just I guess in their own home or wherever. You're just providing that space for them to come in and just really just have the podcast. They don't have to worry about the mics, the cameras. It's like we just pull up, and then we just do our whole talk. So that's cool.
But you know what's funny when I tell people, oh, like I have my own podcast studio, automatically people think I just have the podcast studio to record my podcast. Because their first response to that when I'm like, oh, I have my own podcast studio is like, oh, what's your podcast? And so people, I have a hard time, well, not a hard time, but I kind of downplay my own self because I'm like, I was like, oh, I have a podcast, but I opened it for others to use. So kind of like I kind of made it into like a little business. I was like, why am I so less confident?
Exactly. Like, no, you gotta be stupid confident. You're a business owner, right? So you have to promote the business. It's like both. It's like you're promoting your podcast, but you're also promoting the space. Right?
I know it's podcast studios are like kind of new. I know there's some coming up. I've seen a lot since I've opened in the past 10 months. But it's not a total thing where people know what it is off the bat.
Yeah.
Until probably a year or two from now it will be. But so yeah, people think like, oh, where do you record? No, like it's my business.
Yeah.
Like people come use this space to record their own podcast.
So I guess to like piggyback off of that goes right into the next question I had. What has been the hardest part of owning a studio?
Really building that clientele.
Yes, it is.
I didn't have, it's scary because like when you first open, like I didn't have, obviously, nobody booked the studio until like a month and a half until I opened. And it was just a bunch of like, okay, let me push it out. I'm still pushing it out, right? Because I'm still trying to maximize
bring in
that clientele to its fullest. So it's just really the marketing, I would say, for sure, 100%. Just letting people know that you exist, because a lot of people, oh, I didn't know you were here. I didn't know this was here.
Right.
I didn't even know. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
Getting people to know you're here.
Yeah. As a business owner, I do know that, y'all. It's very, very difficult in those beginning stages of like, especially with the space, It's like if you just offer a service, I feel like it's, I don't know, easier because you just like going everywhere. But when you have like a home base, it's like, it's where I be at, y'all. And it's like people now have to know you're there, but then new people have to find out about your space and like what you're offering. So
I know it's so crazy because like, for those of y'all don't know, my friend Miley here has his own photography studio as well.
Yes.
We've been kind of aligning in the same boat as to, you were talking about opening your own studio. I was talking opening my own podcast studio. And so we kind of did it at around the same time.
Yep.
And it was like, it's so crazy. Like we literally have our own space. Like you said, people offer services, but they can go places.
Yep.
We actually have an address. We have a zip code. We have where people actually come to your space. And that's so crazy. Like who literally would have thought?
Really? It's just hard work, dedication. It is the determination to win. That's what I feel like. I've thought about that by myself. Like looking at her, it's like just never giving up on the dream that you have, right? And then it's just, I don't know. For me, it's like future wealth, right? Like the more you can get into it and like, I know this is cliche, y'all, lock in though, and like really build that clientele, build people that trust you. They'll keep coming back because the main thing you want, of course, to have is retainers. So I don't know. It's hard to imagine this for either of us 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. But weird. That's really all I can say.
I know. I think in the beginning of my journey, like even with the whole modeling and acting journey, I surrounded myself with a lot of entrepreneurs, people who have their own businesses, and I never would have thought I'd be in that same boat. I like praised them, and I was like, dang, these people are really hard workers, and I love that for them.
Yep.
But in my head, I was just like, I don't think I ever wanted to have a business, because it was like, oh, it's too much work.
So how do you feel now then? Like being almost at a year with like clients coming in, right? Like how I guess your outlook changed on like having the business.
Yeah, it's obviously still a lot of work, and it will be, and I don't think the work will ever stop. But I think I shifted my mindset. Like, I'm someone who I feel like I'm ambitious and career driven. So my mind shift, my mind shift has switched to where I don't even know what I would be doing right now. Like, still stuck in front of a computer.
That was the next question right there. Let's go ahead and get into it. So Tom, you've been working your job, right? During through the whole podcast and everything, but now being a business owner, it's like doing the podcast when you first started and you're just like you said in your apartment building, you know, that's way different than having your own physical location where you're an actual business. So talk to me about I guess the process of working and now not working at your previous job.
Well, I want to say this. I had a lot of people tell me like, oh, stay at the job and, let your 9 to 5 or let your full-time job, whatever that may be, make you pay for your studio or your, podcasting. Let it fund it. Well, I did, right? That's how I bought everything in the studio.
Yep.
And so, but I felt like people were like, no, don't leave yet. I even had a couple people that I interviewed were like telling me to, no, stay at your job, collect your benefits. And
Security.
it was hard hearing that. And I was just like, I want to do the complete opposite. I do think it's smart to obviously work at your full-time job to fund your fun career that you want to do. I do believe I did do that. That's how I'm here today. Like last summer, that's what I was doing. Like I bought everything. And that's because I was able to because of my full-time job.
Right.
And now that I have everything, I'm still even buying new things to this day. But I feel like it just really felt like an energy sucker, especially when your full-time job was toxic. Like if it was something more like fun or I look forward to going to, I feel like that would be a different story. But in my case, it was like not.
Right.
It just like sucked the energy out of me. And then I got home, I didn't want to do nothing but sit on my couch.
Do you feel like it's such a thing where, how do I say this? It's like the job helps to fund, all the equipment and like being in the studio space, right? But at the same time, it is the biggest hindrance from you actually being here to use the equipment and like, or like for your clients and stuff, like actually be up here like behind the scenes, right? I feel like that's always just so crazy because like as people talk about like having the job to give you the money to do this, but then it's like I don't have the time to do this because of the job.
Right. So that was another thing. The busier I got, especially this summer, like June was such a busy month for me. June was like the best month I had. And I was like, I want to be there. Like I would rather be there.
Right.
I never understood when people said that their business is their baby, but now I understand that now.
Facts.
And so, yeah, I think it was, I don't want to say it was the right time, but like, if not now, then when? Because yes, people are scared to leave the comfortability,
Yeah.
the stableness, that same paycheck coming every 2 weeks, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and for mine, I had benefits. Well, now I don't have health insurance, you know, like,
Yeah.
but I said, honestly, that's going to be there if I wanted to go back,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm building and this is my life. So
Mhm.
this is what I want to do while I can.
Right. It's like kind of like I guess the thought process I looked at it like when I left was like at least give me the chance to fail. Right. I'd rather have the chance to fail than to be afraid. Right. Or to always put myself in a position to wonder what would happen, like if I did it. Because I feel like we've already we've already done that. Right. We've already had the I would even go as far as years, right? You have the
Mhm.
years of how, well, I wonder what would happen if this was my only thing that I did, right? But that's going to be year by year by year by year if you stay at that job, right? So it's like, I'd rather have that chance to fail than never trying because now I'm stuck here and I'm miserable and I still got to pay to be, in this space. Kind of talked about it, but you can go more in depth. What do you think is the biggest difference between the woman who started the podcast and the woman sitting here today?
I think I was maybe like flying by the seat of my pants, you know,
What does
just
that mean, bro? Flying by the seat of my pants.
just rolling with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was consistent like I still am now.
Yeah.
That had never changed.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I know more now of what I'm doing in the podcast world
Mm-hmm.
versus to what I was doing before,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say like the difference back then, I think now I'm more confident in who I am,
Mm-hmm.
hence how I just opened the studio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I I know a lot more now than I did then, but that all came with trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think just tapping into really who you are and following those your dreams led
Mm-hmm.
me to who I am today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, that was all the serious questions, guys. All right. So now we're gonna give you some this or that questions.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna really test out this personality. We're gonna start with reality TV or documentaries.
Ooh, I love me some Jersey Shore.
That is a throwback. Okay. Wow.
No, they have
Is
fam-
new episode?
they just ended, but they did Jersey Shore Family Vacation. They did like
Oh,
8 seasons.
dang. Okay. I didn't know that boat was still working.
But I also love me some crime documentaries.
Mm. What is it about the crime that you like to watch?
It's just intriguing.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm the type of person that likes to solve stuff.
Okay. Inspector
So,
Gadget. Okay.
so I'll probably pick documentaries.
Documentaries. Okay. Hmm. Ooh. Dang. I forgot that we had this one. Okay. Interview a celebrity or become the celebrity.
I'm gonna do both.
It's not an option here. It's this or that. It's this or that. It's this or that.
Interview a celebrity.
What? I know who she's about to say, but who would that celebrity be that you like to interview?
You think I'm gonna say Bobby?
No, I don't. Who are you gonna say?
Oh, Drake.
Of course. That's what I had in my head. Is he still your screensaver? We're not going to talk about that.
Yes.
Oh, he is still a screensaver. Okay. Is that who? He's one. Give me two more people that you'd like to interview.
Zendaya.
Mm, that's an interesting one. Okay.
I want to dig into her acting.
Mm, hmm
I would love to do that.
Okay. Who's the third person?
Third person?
Third person.
I've literally thought about. She's from Texas, I can tell.
I think the podcast is done, guys. Let's just.
Ella Langley.
Ella Langley. Wow. Okay. That is a great song, though. That's an amazing song. I gotta say that. Okay. This is the last this or that question that I had. being the host, which is what you normally do, or today, being the guest?
I definitely prefer being the host because
Mhm.
after all, that's what I do,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I'm the one that asks all the questions,
Okay.
even when I'm not podcasting.
Yeah. You just always. What was that? Where we going? Didn't it just always? What'd you get to eat? Didn't it just? You just
Yeah.
can't stop.
I ask a lot of questions, so that's why I interview people.
One thing is, okay, this is my last question. Because I remember, like, back in the day, I would kind of, like, tell you, like, when I used to edit the videos, I used to be like, bro, we just went through, like, 6 minutes. Kimberly don't say nothing. She's just like, how do you think that's changed over the time of you podcasting, of being more involved within the conversation?
What you're saying, I didn't talk?
Yeah. Like, in those beginning episodes, remember I used to tell you, be like, you got to step in or say something. You just be like, nod your head. So like, how do you feel like? Because I was like saw like the episodes how they came over the years. Like, what do you think changed for you of kind of like, I guess, not interrupting, but like more conversational to where it's like when they're like midway, you'll ask another question. It's not like they just end and then you just ask them a question.
Well, I like for when I interview, I like to give them the room, right? Hello, room to speak.
Oh gosh.
I like to give them the room, but I don't also like to talk over them. And I don't like to interrupt them. But I have just becoming more comfortable, I guess, podcasting, you know, thinking of questions out of
The blue.
yeah,
Yeah.
conversation. I do have questions that I, you know, think of that I'll eventually get to, but also if I think of a question mid convo that sparks interest, just where the conversation goes, I'll ask.
Yeah.
So just really just getting used to it, you know?
I actually like podcasting instead of interviewing in a way. Would you say it's like that? Kind of?
Yeah, I think it's more like I want it to be more like conversational style. I don't want people to feel like they're at a job interview.
Right. All right.
You know?
Like a get to know me or something.
Yeah.
In a way.
Like I want the audience to take away who this person is and to be inspired by this person. So that's essentially how I try to, as a host, try to interview. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's all I got today, y'all. Kimberly, thanks for coming on your own podcast. Yeah. It was a pleasure to step into this role today. Haven't been on a podcast in a long time, y'all. So when she asked me to be the host, I was like, you know, I ain't gonna call it a pop, but yeah. So thanks for letting me do this for you.
Thank you.
YouTube fam, don't forget
to subscribe. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Cut it out. Is that